Remember how when you were a little kid, they told you watch out for live wires, you'll get electrocuted? And it puts a fear in you to be afraid of electricity. Well, there's a good reason for it, but the reason isn't what they tell you. The reason is a normal electrical current is very close in frequency and charge to your own electrical current in your body. It's about frequency, voltage, with your nervous system. You're an electrical being. It's electrochemical, but it isn't a whole lot of difference with regard to electrical communication. You grab hold of a live wire, it does all this because your system is overloading because of your ability to communicate that kind of charge. And it causes damage because an overload of electricity on the cells of your body can cause all kinds of things. Strange part is if you up the voltage, suddenly that doesn't have the effect. The reason is it's about harmony, communication of sending and receiving electrical signals. Everything in the universe operates on that system of harmony. Different substances are made up of different elements that have different balances in their makeup, their molecular makeup. Whether it's steel or water, same situation. It's a relationship with the elements at hand. That's where the molecules come from. It's kind of like just if everybody in the room hooked up with the person that they was the most their soulmate, the person they got along with, if you could miraculously figure that out by looking at the person. That's kind of what chemicals do, somehow. Well, a guy named Nikola Tesla figured that out, but on a more broad scale. He realized that all substances have basically a electrical fingerprint when it comes to wavelength and the effect of the wavelength on the substance. You can find out the wavelength of the communication of current within on the molecular level, the subatomic level of any substance. If you find the exact frequency and loop it and send it via signal towards the object that is already communicating on that subatomic level at that frequency, amplify it and overload it on that loop basis, you can get the substance to disintegrate. Any substance. That's what happened to the towers on 9/11. People talk about the directed energy, this bomb, that bomb. No. Look closely. The building comes apart. And it is because of a violent, explosive-looking reality, but it isn't explosives per se. Not a bomb. It is sending a radio wave towards the building, and any substance that is made up of the wavelengths in that signal, there might be 5, 6 of them, who knows? You say we got concrete, we got steel, we have iron. Any substance with its precise wavelength that's been deciphered and put into the beam, as long as it goes towards the direction of the substance, that substance will grab it on its molecular level and its communication, which keeps it in play, whether it's a solid substance or liquid, doesn't matter. It'll overload, and the ability to communicate with itself, to keep it itself, disappears. And it disintegrates into the air. That is precisely what happened to the Twin Towers. That is precisely what happened to anybody that they have killed with what is called a heart attack gun. If you stand next to a person, you can take a reading of what their particular heartbeat's frequency is. That person, most people are very close. If you know that, and you send a disrupting signal towards the person, the electrochemical current that goes from their brain to their heart will overload and they will have a heart attack. Andrew Breitbart, John F. Kennedy, many others. They can kill anybody they want, and it will look like natural causes. It is simply about wavelength overload on the subatomic level. That's what it is. And that's the message they were giving on 9/11 to the smart people. We can do this to anything. Shut up, recognize what we're doing, fall in line, or we will do this to you too. Look into it. You don't take my word for it, read about it. Nikola Tesla, he made what's called an earthquake machine, where he first discovered this phenomenon of wavelength assimilation, amplification. He got a large structure to just start to shake on the molecular level. And it shook him up. He was shocked that that was possible. Well, they seized his research notes in 1943, and they've come quite a long way since. That's my opinion. It comes down to the subatomic level, the relationship on the molecular level of the electrons communicating within the atoms. A substance has its own frequency of communication. If you blast it with an overload of that, it doesn't know what to do. It's no different than me being drowned out by a bunch of people speaking at the exact same volume as me. If they was all standing right here, talking at the exact same frequency as me, you wouldn't be able to pick me out from the cacophony. It's the same thing. But when you have that going on with the communication of intramolecular realities, the overload kills the harmony. The harmony goes away. And that's why the substance goes away. And that is perhaps the most dangerous discovery of all time.